our horses have been on there since the end of last summer. We've had 2 horses on this pasture. They eat more grass than what grass grows on that field. So we have to do some maintenance to our pasture. We put them off the main pasture. Now they are in the smaller pasture that we've created. And it's kind of temporary. It's a temporary thing. At least that middle one. It's easy because, I mean, they've knocked down that grass really good. And they're not touching the elder, which is amazing. But to maintain this pasture, we have to break up all their poop patties. And so you can go get fancy harrows that spread the poop, or you can make one yourself. And Mr. Handy Pants here is too cheap to go spend money on something I can make myself, because I want to spend money on our homestead and wealth building, not jigs that you can make yourself with what's laying around the homestead. So let me show you a piece of old fencing, beam, and a couple chains, and we'll drag it around with the UTV. So we'll show you an example. I'll try to catch a couple runs over big old poop patties or manure to show you what it does to the manure. The manure is good on the pasture. It fertilizes, but a big old patty of 7 pounds of poop or 10 pounds kills everything underneath it. It's too strong. The manure is too strong for it to really feed the grass right on that spot. If it sits on the pasture, the sun dries it, bugs get in it, start breaking it down. That's when it turns into compost, and it feeds the field. But there's too much of it, too concentrated around the areas they were feeding, around the water trough, around their feeding, their hay bales. So now that they're off the pasture, we're gonna spread some seed, let it rest for as many weeks as we can. Hopefully, my goal is to let the pasture rest for about a month and a half, within rotating them in the gully and then putting them in with the goats. One of our horses supposedly is not a great fan of goats, so we'll have to see how that works out. But everybody has to play together nicely, so they might not like each other at first, but they're gonna have to figure it out, because Tim has no tolerance for stupid animals that don't get along. All right, so I'm gonna tie these 2 chains together. Let's see how it works. I'll pass a couple times, see how it works, and then see what adjustments we have to make. The main beam for the harrow we found in the bottom of the gully with 2 chains on it, so the prior homeowners must have done the same thing. With this beam, I just put a piece of chain link fence behind it, which the beam will flatten out the patties, and then the chain link fence will pulverize and rotate it so it's all spread out. So I'll stretch this out and then make another video, and I'll splice the video so you can see the whole process. All right, so let me show you a good example. All right. See this? That's too much manure in one spot. You see this? That's too much manure in one spot. All right, when you drive over it, this spreads out the big manure, and then this kind of turns it, and then it gets pulverized just like this. And that the pasture can absorb.
Well, he made a drag. And basically what this does, it flattens any poop patties and spreads it out on the soil so that the grass can keep growing.